How's everybody doing on an Eclipse Monday? 3 photo bins from the Doug's Dirt Diary archives to check out today. And of course, if you've been up in New York State and you're an asphalt fan, especially a fan of super modifieds, you know where we are here. But just in case you don't, this is Oswego Speedway. Never sat in the grandstand for a race once at Oswego Speedway. It was either in the tower, in the infield, or on the backstretch grandstands. And the only time I've done that, of course, is Super Dirt Week. This is back on July 23rd, 2011, and it is a very special show and a big show, obviously, because this was not only just Super Modifieds, but it was also, I believe, the ROC Modified Tour is what this was. So you can see some of the modifieds in the pits. And I'm going to need some help, guys, on the comments here. And again, while you're there, hit the subscribe and the notifications and all that kind of stuff. And please leave us a comment, because there's a lot of these guys that I simply just don't remember. So if you know some of them in here, please let me know, because I hate leaving something left hanging like that. I know that's Dave Gruel's car right there. And of course, Lighthouse Lanes, that's the place right out in front. That's Bob Hofer's place. And I like this picture. I believe this is Joey Payne's crew. They brought a little pool with them on what was obviously a very hot weekend. You can see everybody wearing shorts. And when racing people wear shorts, that's when you know it's hot, because most of the time they don't do that. I know this is one of the Grahams. I'm not sure who. I believe it's the dad. I know the son raced at one point. Again, help me out if you can, guys. And of course, the asphalt modifieds. I haven't seen these guys. I actually watched the show over the weekend on YouTube from Thompson, the Icebreaker 150, and man, that looked like quite the place. Jan Leedy. I just got contact information for Jan and Mike Leedy over the weekend from some friends at the Hall of Fame, so I'm going to reach out to them and see if we can't get these guys on. This car was out again. I know I saw this, and again, I'm going to feel so bad when I hear these names, but I remember the Binghamton Mets being the sponsor on that car for a long time. Nice crossover, by the way. John Ramsey, the 25R here, and if you're a Utica Rome modified fan from back in the day, yeah, it's that John Ramsey. And I actually saw him at a show at Evans Mills a couple of years ago, too, running an asphalt modified. Gotta like the Coors Light sponsorship on this car. And again, beautiful car. Had a lot of fun there that day. Super stocks were also on the card. So it was almost, you can tell it's an ROC show right there. And they looked pretty good going around this racetrack, although this guy had a little bit of a problem there. That Oswego Glass sponsorship, they're not going to need anything from them on that except maybe some cash to put it back together. This is Rusty Smith, and those of you guys in the Southern Tier know Rusty. 34 dirt and asphalt, you name it, he's pretty much driven it. And this was back, I know Blue Ox was a sponsor on his car for a long time, and there's Rusty right there. Hope you're doing well, man. I haven't seen you in forever. So, and of course, we know the 61 on the side there for obvious reasons there. So, not sure here. The 01, I know it sounds familiar. I know it looks familiar. Again, I'm relying on you guys. And again, look how much different the super modifieds look here in 2011. No tail wing. We've got this piece on the back that kind of gets a little downforce going. And of course, the panels on the side are fairly high. So you get a good amount of downforce on that. Joe Gosick right here in the 00. And it must have been a Richie Evans remembered race, because I see a lot of 61s on the cars. And tell me these things aren't the coolest in the world, because right here is when they, at this particular era, is kind of when I thought they looked the most like the Indy cars, was right here. You can see the panel down this side, okay? And of course, right there, that's where all your downforce is. So, and of course, that's not every car. You see, they did something different here on this particular one. So a lot of freedom in the design. I have always liked asphalt modifieds. I still remember the first time I saw them at a car show many years ago. I was like, wow, these things are super cool. And I've only seen maybe a handful of races with those over the years. So some pit discussions going on in here. I believe these are some of the modified teams, as it seems to be the train of thought at this point. And I like how they did the tape here. That's to let them know where the lug nuts are, okay, in case you were wondering. So the lug nuts are right there, easy to find when you put the rim on. A lot easier than just having to guess. That, I believe, was Eric Rudolph back in the day, because he did some asphalt stuff for a long time too. And of course, Pizza Logs, still love those Pizza Logs. They were a sponsor of mine for a long time. Dan Connors Jr. here. See, I was smart. I took the picture where I could actually see it right here. See, I didn't always do that. I wasn't always that smart. Here's one of the guys we always enjoy chatting with, Joey Payne, fun guy, all tatted up. Joey, I hope you're doing well, man, and hope the family's all doing well as well. So you can see they were using the back grandstand for this one here. So that tells you how big it was. Although you can see the grandstand needed some repairs. We got a couple of holes you can see through there. But since then, they've had that all set up. This guy broke right on the way into the pit road here. You can see by looking at that. Didn't quite make it back to his pit area. Must have broken a tie rod or something in the front end. And you can see the stock cars here as they are having some fun here at the Speedway. And again, it's not forgiving at Oswego. You make a mistake, you run into something, it's going to hurt. And that's just the way it is. There's all that speed that you carry. Here's some of the super stocks on the front stretch. Checkered flag, as you can see right there. So that was the end of the race for them. There's our winner. I always like the bubble back Monte Carlos. If you ever see one of those on the road, man, buy it. Fix it up, all original, and you'll be glad that you did. Matt Thomas and his stuff up in the tower. This is when they were doing everything the old-fashioned way with the tape decks and everything. You can see the stack of VHS tapes right there, too, by the way. So this, again, this was 13 years ago now. So, and right up where Don Bartlett likes to sit. We're going to see him in just a second, as this is a great view. This is from off the porch to the right side of the tower, obviously right down there in turn one, and before the video screen too, as you can tell. There's no video screen in there just yet either. So I look down in the novelty area. I can just smell the fried dough right now as I look at that picture, as they're getting ready to go for the ROC modified race. And these cars were a lot of fun, I will tell you that. I like how they got all the safety people lined up there for the anthem and everything. Very nice. Always did it right. And again, I love asphalt modifieds. And there's our gentleman we just talked to the other day. If you missed that one with Don Bartlett, make sure to get that. We had that on, let me see, yesterday, as a matter of fact. So he's been shooting video and actually film from back in the mid-'60s. We're going to get with him and try to put some of his stuff out there. Oops, something went wrong here on the front straightaway as 5 cars ended up getting together. And then more down here in turn number 1, as well as a rogue tire sitting right there. So, and there's our winner. And if you know who that is, let me know, because I don't have all the notes and everything from back then. I'm sorry. I should know. I really should. But unfortunately, I do not. It's been a long time. So, but again, it was a lot of fun that day. There's Eric Rudolph, who obviously finished in the top 3. I hope you guys had a great Eclipse day on Monday. I hope you like these clips that we're putting up for you today. I've got one more I'm putting up from a track that is no longer in operation, at least right now. It is still there. There is hopes that maybe, who knows, but we'll see. That's going to be our next bin, so make sure to look for that one. Subscribe, turn on notifications, leave us a comment. Help us out with the PayPal if you can. PayPal.me/Doug Elkins Racing. This is the time of year we could really use your help. So, guys, have a great day, and we'll be back with more.